Sometimes I'm going to have to stop all these midnight showings of mine. I got a dog that's still keeping me up in the morning. This morning, 12:16 in the morning, West Coast times for the Monday, the 10th of June, 2024. Zombie Weaver John C. of Rosemond, California, who's alive. Not quite sure if he still wants to be awake or not. And I'm dealing with a very fussy senior citizen dog. Times like this, I keep thinking about. I'm lucky, I'm blessed. And then other times I think I'm like the midnight caller back in the 80s. There's a reason why I say that one there. Gary Cole, Dennis Dunn, and a couple other ladies. You had Wendy Gilbert and Lisa Elbacher. They did a show called Midnight Caller, Channel 4, from 88 to, I think, 92, 93. That was a hell of a show, to tell you that much. No, 91. May have been 3 years for three seasons, but it was a heavy show to watch. Gary Cole played a radio talk show host, caller, and people would call in midnight just to talk about a few things, and he'd talk. He'd talk about things. Music that played on it is haunting. I was playing a little bit of it. Rick Braun. Very haunting, salty, sultry. Dare I mention the word sexy? Sometimes jazz, when it's played in a certain way, it elicits and entices things and feelings and thoughts. And this was just one of those themes that one would come across. Sorry, I'm pulling off hair off my mouth here. And it would stick in your head. The TV theme was shortened next to what the original theme was. And every time the television show would come on, about 2.5 minutes worth of jazz music. I hardly ever see anything like that or hear anything like that anymore. But it was a good way of catching people's attention. She's at it again. Hold on. I figure tonight's going to be a long night. Yeah, I don't know what got her stirred tonight, but something's got her rattled. Remember those times when you do the call-ins? You actually call in on a radio show, probably in the middle of the night, or nearly, and you talk to somebody on the radio for maybe just a minute or two. Sometimes have a little deeper conversation sometimes. I miss those days. Everything's streaming, everything's live these days. But if I was going to be doing a talk show like that, on that one, oh boy. Everything's computered. I mean, everything's computerized. Everything's on the internet, streaming. I haven't come across anything like that unless you're on a serious radio program or a radio format like Sirius FX or whatever the hell they call it. Sirius FM, I think. And then maybe there'd be podcasting on there that you'd hear people left and right. A lot different than what it was back then. If you missed a show, you missed a show. Maybe they'd rerun it. But for the most part, I'm watching that television show itself. Cole's character played a former police officer in San Francisco, and he'd hear things and get involved in things. He'd get his police buddies, friends, however you wanted to call them, get them involved, crime solving, rescue the damsel in distress or something. He'd be without a gun, but he'd be talking things and talking about a lesson that he'd learned along the way. Pass it off to the people every time. I always liked this guy. He had that quality of him. I'd seen a lot of shows. One of the shows they actually had, he'd really terrified the hell out of you. American Gothic. Oof. That show leave you with nightmares. Now you get to see him on NCIS. Yeah, I still miss the Midnight Caller. I still miss it. Can't even find the videos. I could find the music of it. I mean, I could turn on the YouTube, no problem, and hear the original composition and also hear the television theme to it. And when it's becoming late at night like this, I'm thinking about it, I'm feeling it. It's like I miss listening to a guy on a radio talking about things and picking up a phone and talking with the guy, you know? Things have changed, God knows, over the past 30 plus years. With the invention of the internet and out with the digital, actually out with the analog radio. Analog radio, God bless it. That meant that you would actually listen into radio waves coming across from radio stations, from radio towers. Hell, you'd be listening to a lot of things. Music, entertainment, news, sports, anything. Including anything similar to the Midnight Caller. Now, these days, we can't even have that anymore. Just pop your cell phone, just pop your little video camera, and you're an instant, you're supposed to be an instant star or something. And some people actually crave it a hell of a lot. Oh, they want it more. They want it more and more and more and more and more. They can't. It's like they're feeding off of this thing like sharks or worse. Groupies. Addicted. Maybe that's in a way I'm also, as well, feeding an addiction. I mean, I called my channel on YouTube. Not many subscribers. I don't know who follows me. I don't know why, but they do. I call my channel The Diary of a Griever Named John Weaver. And then I add the last tagline, which is not even the email address, saying, which is me. And then if I'm actually feeling not in the grieving mood, or not in the grieving mode, actually, I would do the zombie. Not alive, not awake, definitely not here. If I'm emotionally screwed up and sleep deprived, or am I emotionally deprived and sleep screwed up? I always get that twisted a bit. But that way I'm trying to talk about other things happening. Or just a standard log report. God, wind logs. Let me talk about this thing. Let me talk about that thing. Yeah, I mean, I really don't have a set shtick. I don't have a set theme. It's just me. Everything else is so copyright notice here and there that I would have to keep I can't even talk right this morning. I'll put it into the description of whatever music I'm going to be playing. I mean, I like the Midnight Caller thing, don't get me wrong. If I could use that for copyright, I probably would. Because I like it. I mean, especially if I'm going to be doing a late, like this one, 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. There she goes again. Give me a second. Sorry about that. That's what I get to clean up all the time. So before she's driving me nuts tonight. And I'm grateful she does. I know she needs to go to the bathroom real bad. I don't dare go outside because there's been reports of animals out there who would just love to tear her apart. And I have the pads out here on the ground. Let her do her thing and I'll clean the thing up. That's generally what I do. Getting back to the idea of the Midnight Caller thing. Maybe if I was still zombie-ish, maybe it would work. But I have no callers. I would have to do things live streaming. At the radio, where you just listen to the guy's or the person's voice and then have to deal. Hey, I'm calling here because I got nothing else better to do here. Don't you understand that? Well, yes, we understand that you have an issue. I got an issue, right? I got an itch I'm trying to get rid of, and nobody else can get rid of it for me. Oh, there she goes. She must have done something. Damage control awaits. Hold on. What's that smell? Oy vey. Okay. If there was going to be live streaming, probably down around midnight, I'm going to be toying around with an idea on this one here. How about the things that you do with an elderly dog that, I don't know. I don't have a good idea on that one. How would you deal with an elderly lady who's fussing and she's a dog? I've had other dogs that haven't actually had reached this age, but I hadn't seen them fuss as badly as she does. And then when she gets her happiness going, she likes to run around and then go tilt. I mean, she'd just go full boogie around here, tearing apart the place like she's a young kid again. I think I'll call this particular video Midnight Caller and Dogs. I might as well call it that way. Because that's how it is tonight. No politics, no yelling and screaming about what other political figures are saying and meeting and everything else going on. Unless I'm going to be opening up that damn can of worms right there. Oh yeah, I mean, how would you like listening to old Trump head reversing himself on mail-in orders, saying, yes, now it's a great idea for me to do this right now, isn't it? You know, I got the independents picking up on this thing, and they're having a field day. They're chomping at the bits on this stuff. What I kept picking up on the YouTube these days is just other things other than politics. But yeah, I heard Trump at the rally in Vegas, and he's reversing himself, and people are like, yeah, how to throw off your game, how to throw off your base. Now you like doing a mail-in, but anything else, forget it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That really threw off your game real fast. Yep. Oh, she's going to start tonight. I think she's going to go poo tonight. I got to be investing more and more in pads. I kid you not. Hear the whelp? Shh. And when she gets excited, she starts running around like crazy. She's on it. Yep. She wants to get in trouble. So instead of talking about politics and how gas bags will drive you crazy and everybody else who follows a gas bag, how about trying to be driven crazy by a senior citizen losing her mind with dementia? And yet, she wants to play like a happy puppy, but she can't see, she can't hear. She can smell, but that's about it. And she's just wanting to go nuts. It's a little after midnight. People should be sleeping, enjoying their night. No, not this dog. Not tonight. There's no sleeping tonight. There's only dealing with a dog flipping her lid. That's going to be a long night. Sleep? What's that?